We have Chris 7649. Here's an idea, and this is to a viral clip that was black. Where I commented on black fatigue. Chris R6749 says, "Here's an idea. Since you are sick and tired of white people, how about you pack your bags and fly on back to Wakanda?" Not funny. I will respond to this. "Once you are there, we will send Oh, you really got jokes. We will send reparations. Sound good. Sounds horrible. And you sound low IQ. Wakanda isn't real, but you and your people can go back to Europe, where you come from." I don't think blacks, so I'm agreeing with you there. I don't think blacks necessarily need reparations. I think at this point, everybody has free will in America and has the same opportunities. So I'm actually not in favor of reparations. So yeah, y'all can keep the reparations. We're just going to work hard as a people and continue to prosper because I believe blacks are prospering. Soul S. Barn says the shutdown is not immigrants, it's the Epstein files. The Democrats have enough votes to bring out enough votes for the Epstein files. Okay, some are saying that Trump is doing the various things he's doing to take attention off the Epstein files. It is possible Elon's in the files from what's been released. Trump has stated he had a relationship with Epstein. He's also stated that Epstein has taken some of the workers from his working under Trump buildings and Trump organizations. Some of those workers eventually were hired by Epstein. Some of them were younger girls. I won't say they're under 18, but they were younger girls. Trump has admitted to grabbing women by the pussy. It's very possible that Trump, like other famous politicians such as Bill Clinton and others, have abused women. I believe that they should release all the information. And if even people I looked up to are in these files and they have done criminal activities, I believe they should be prosecuted, and I believe that the victims should have their day in court. And I believe for things like sexual assault and murder, we should even consider changing the law so that there isn't a short statute of limitation, because some things I think are very important and we need to find out who did them no matter how long we have to wait. Jinx AM 8395 says, according to the United States Sentencing Commission, while white men make up less than 30% of the U.S. population, 78% of child pornography trafficking convictions are white men. Individual and offensive characteristics, 47% of individuals were sentenced for child pornography, and 98% were men, 77% were white men. Okay, so there's a bunch of facts and statistics. So this person is stating that though whites only represent 30%, white males represent 30% of the population, they're 80% of the child pornography convictions. Obviously, that's a problem. I believe Emily, before Emily Saves America, mentioned what are white people doing wrong. This is a statistic saying that you're 30% of the population and 80% of the people arrested for that particular offense. So in the white community, it seems like child pornography is a problem. You guys should focus on that. And then in general, it says 98% men. So it seems like even bigger than it being a white male thing, it's just a male thing. So men, we need to get our act together and we need to find out what's going on and what we can do to become better people. Because this is unacceptable to have so many men looking at child porn or doing anything to a minor. As I stated with the Epstein files, I'm against any sort of harm to children. I'm more against harm to children than actual murder, because I believe two adults can have an agreement. You can have not just wars, but there are situations where I believe, though it's wrong to kill somebody, I believe there are times when you can at least defend it, whether it's self-defense or certain type of situation. Somebody breaks into your home. It's just different situations that can occur where somebody may need to die. But there's never a chance where you should harm a child, ever. Harm a child or a woman. I'm against both. Trini N1U, men are not women. I agree. However, there are men, women, and transgenders, and naturally occurring transgenders are hermaphrodites. So I do believe biologically we do have men, women, and hermaphrodites, and I also believe that sexuality. I mean, some say it's fluid, but I'll just say exhibits on a spectrum. So to me, I do believe in the two genders, but I'm also open to acknowledging that there are 8 billion people and everybody's unique. So I can't say that other people's beliefs are wrong or how other people feel is wrong. I can just say that I respect you and I respect your space. Please respect my space, and somehow let's find a compromise, in the public space where everybody can coexist. Okay, a lot of people have been commenting to Nick because I have comments and then comments to the comments. So we have IP Freely to Nick Fuentes admits truth about Patrick Bet David. Why can't most black people take accountability? I believe I take accountability. Blacks have the lowest test scores. Blacks commit crime at the highest rate. They commit violent crime at the highest rate. They commit murder at not just the highest rate, but an astronomical rate. So in terms of murder, I think blacks are off the chart. Some of the other things, I think blacks are in comparison to whites what whites are in comparison to Asians. So I think there's a problem, but it's a smaller problem than people think. You don't have to be so defensive of other people just because they look like you. I'm not. That's weak gay mentality. See, again, this is why I was talking about sexuality on the spectrum. Yes, I use gay kind of how they use it as a negative thing, but it's only joking, right? So I'm playing. This person seems to actually really be saying that gay is bad. I don't agree with that. I read some of the other ones in connection with this tweet. You are 100% correct, and we should, concerning accountability, apply that same standard to the Jews. They spell Jews in a certain way. It's kind of condescending. Because just like blacks, not all, but a large majority, okay, they're losing me. I do think blacks should hold accountability, but I don't know about this. Not just like blacks, not all, but a large majority. The large majority of the 48 million blacks, 45 to 50 million blacks in America are doing well or at least decent in my opinion, and the vast majority of blacks are not causing a problem. So I disagree with you there, Nigerian born American. I do agree that we should discuss Arabs, Semites, Jews, etc. So when you say apply the same standard to Jews, I do. I question the Jews, I question the blacks, I question the Asians, I question the Vietnamese. Yes, I question everyone. I think questions are good. I think questions is the way you seek knowledge. So if you ask questions, I can find them myself or someone else will find them and present them to me. So I just believe that individually people become better and wiser by asking questions. Great video, sending love from Chicago. Thank you, Farfetch. Hit the subscribe button, smash the like. This is terrible. Yes, this is from R. Hone A. Peterson 514. It's about a video that I posted about Christians being murdered. We hear about Jews a lot being persecuted. We don't hear about Muslims a lot, but we hear about Muslims being persecuted more often than Christians, I believe. So in Nigeria, Muslims are persecuting Christians currently. And I did a segment about that persecution. So this person is just saying that's terrible. And they're saying it's also happening in Africa as a whole. So not just Nigeria. So I will look into that. More attention needs to be drawn to that. And now with there being some peace in the Middle East between the Hamas and Israel, but potentially the Muslims and the Middle Eastern powers in Israel, maybe there's a way that there could be some peace also with the Christians and Muslims in Africa. Maybe this peace can extend throughout the Middle East and reach the African continent. Some Ann Pasco 329 says, honey, they are racist, giving me vibes that she's saying the people commenting are racist. Some may be. Thank you for your support. Bianca Commando U1D. Nice channel. Thanks. Do you yourself favor, and even if you don't see the clip fresh from Nick's page, whoever, make sure you go straight to his video for your clip. Okay, I guess if I go to the video myself, I may know it's not edited. So I will consider what you're saying. No one wants to see you getting a clip from a guy that clipped. I guess, I don't think it would really bother anybody, but it's bothering you, so I'll consider your opinion. It looks lazy. Oh, okay, yeah. I don't follow Nick, but I can go to his Rumble. He's not on YouTube, right? So I'm on YouTube most of the day. So I just seen his clips either. Sometimes my producer presents them to me, or I may just find them as I'm searching online. So it wasn't so much being lazy and not going find his clip. I'm just picking clips that I came across myself. I'm still waiting for your pushback. from RBG0711. What's your criticism besides telling black people to let them be called the N-word? Well, I'm not saying that y'all should. Okay, I am and I'm not. I'm saying black people should consider being open to white people just using the N-word, like saying nigga. Maybe not at them, but just see how they use the term to see what they mean. My pushback to Nick, I agree with some of what Nick says. My pushback today was sometimes he's conspiratorial, and then my pushback other times was that he takes general things and applies it to the whole black race, it seems, because he says things like the blacks, etc. And he speaks about blacks in a negative manner, when if he was more nuanced, like he seems to be now being with Israel, if he was more nuanced, I think that he could criticize blacks while still showing love to my people. So that's what I would hope that Nick can do in the future. Maybe he got to get a call from Kanye or somebody. Fetty Wap Pharmaceuticals, what a name. Fetty Wap Pharmaceuticals 8842. We're doing fine on our own. Bro, I do look at statistics, right? I believe that most people only present black statistics and what blacks do wrong. For this show, I've tried to provide statistics on East Asians, whites, Hispanics, and African Americans, and I may end up breaking this down and start doing it by socioeconomic background. I may start breaking it up by region, comparing the South to the West, to the North, to the Northeast, because just like there are racial differences, just like there are class differences, just like there are economic differences, there are also regional differences, right? So it's not that what people say about whites, blacks, and Hispanics is not true. It's just if people took a different approach, right? If they started saying, well, look at the West, look at the South, look at the North, people would start seeing, oh, there are different ways we can break these groups down, and all problems aren't because of skin. All problems aren't because of gender. All problems aren't because of ideology. All problems aren't because of region. All the problems are because of all of these things, right? So you can nitpick and find any specific thing to break things down into. And if you break them down into those things, you will start seeing some groups do better. And it's not always racial. It's just whatever you break the groups into, some groups are doing better for various reasons. A few more because we have a lot of comments. We have Brenda Cook 5103. Tucker Carlson was right when he said Nick Fuentes was a weird little gay guy who lives in his mother's basement. I chuckled a little bit. It's kind of funny. I'm trying to keep the peace with the Groypers though. Why is Nick Fuentes so obsessed with black people? You're winning me over, Brenda. You're winning me over. There are white towns in the U.S. that he could move to instead of. I agree with you 100%. America's a big country. If whites want to move to places like rural America where they're already the majority, why not move there? Mike Lewis 8632. These folks are just plumb evil. Black people in America have not caused white people any harm. I guess the algorithm showing it to a little more than Groypers now. These folks are just plumb evil. Black people in America have not caused white people any hardship. How could we, when they hold systematic power, everybody else is always to blame? Jews, LGBT, immigrants, blacks. Never themselves. Poor whites in America forever have been hoping and waiting for affluent and wealthy in their race to wave the wand and make them rich and powerful. And it's just not going to happen. It's just not their own are to blame for the struggles in America. Again, I agree with this for the most part. I mean, blacks don't cause all the problems. Some problems blacks are causing more than other groups, but we're not causing all the problems. I don't believe in a systematic racism or systematic power, but I do believe there's a group of white people, mostly in the conservative movement, in the Republican Party, who do blame Jews, gays, immigrants, and blacks for all the problems, and even poor whites. And they kind of try to separate themselves and try to say that they're a better group than other people. You're not a worse group, but you're not better. You have your own faults. So we all should work together to improve the country. We have Open Your Eyes, Man 2020. Someone dropped you on your head, or were you just born slow? It may be genetic, bro. Black people don't think as quick as, I shouldn't say quick. Well, yeah, that's part of it too. Don't think as quick as whites and Asians. So sometimes I may stumble on words. Sometimes I may take a second to get my thoughts together. But I think it's better to get my thoughts together and say what I mean and be accurate than to just talk quickly to prove to you that I'm intelligent. I really don't give a fuck what you think. Sydney Jam RD705, and I read two more. No, we don't understand what you're saying and you sound stupid. Well, the previous guy said I'm already slow, but I could talk slower if you're struggling to understand. Nick Fuentes has valid points. Some of the things that he says are inaccurate. When he says something that's inaccurate, I provide facts to show people what is true, and I counter his argument. When he is correct, I give him credit. When he is wrong, I hold him accountable. I hope you understood English, Sydney Jam 7075. Hex 3639, the black community is doing fine on its own. Hell no, you're crazy as hell. Well, there are 45 million black people and about 10,000 commit murder every year. So let me do the math. I'm going to get since I'm black, I can't do it in my head. 45 million. I know it's going to be 44 million, by the way. I'm not that slow. 45 million minus 10,000 leaves us 44,990,000,000 black people who aren't committing murder. I could also do this for welfare and a host of other crimes and negative things. The majority of black people are paying taxes and living a productive and prosperous life. It's a small minority that's causing a problem. This person left a lot of comments, so I won't. Well, I should, but I feel like I'ma just do them, and I kind of had this feeling. They left a bunch of comments. They hating on me. It's all right. This is Jonathan Thompson. Actually, my roommate in college had a friend named Jonathan Thompson. I hope that's not him. I don't think it is. 8538. I'll read all your comments, bro. Let's see what you're talking about. And they're all to the Nick Fuentes video. Hey, you're helping engagement though, homie. There's a reason you only have 120 subscribers. The show just started 2 weeks ago. That's why. He didn't say whites cook better. Do you listen? He might not have. Maybe I was mistaken. This guy's like 5 years old. Do I look 5, bro? Razor cuts. White do crimes, but the fact is that the amount blacks do are tenfold. For murder, it's tenfold. For most crimes, it's about double. And for violent crimes, it's threefold. We have a problem. I agree with you. You're just overblowing the problem. Dude, you're part of the problem. What the fuck? Please leave another comment and let me know how I'm part of the problem. Jonathan Thomas, 8538. Because I will respond to you and I have no problem with the dialogue. Hopefully you see that though I am criticizing you somewhat, I agree with you on some points and have no problem talking to you further. Because my hope from this podcast is to talk to people. Though we disagree on some things, we agree on others. So how about you and I talk and potentially become friends and maybe catch a bite to eat one day if you're in New Orleans. That'll be it for today because the producer said that, we had a lot of comments and we may not be able to get to them all. So I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Peace. If you like this video, please smash the like button, comment, and subscribe. New shows airing Monday through Thursday.